everybody still here? We're actually running at a decent 30, 20 frames now. Started playing and it immediately dropped frames. Let me just like, walk around a little bit, load some chunks. We're at 20 frames now. That's a little bit better, marginally better, not very much. Uh, this is what I get for trying to stream on a potato. But you know what? We're now at a better resolution. We're now at a healthier resolution, smoother. It's okay. We're dropping like a quarter of our frames. Whatever. It's fine. We're gonna push through this. We got this. Okay, so we're now on Oakridge. Hello. Since I realized that this is most likely going to be posted a singular as a singular VOD on YouTube. Hello, it's me. We're doing a season 9 world tour today with a microphone and a new OBS setup. I was originally streaming in 1080p and I ended up realizing that my computer was burning up, so I switched it to 720p, and this is not much better, which is sad. So I'll have to figure that out between streams, but for now, we're here. Stream Elements has just pushed something into chat saying I'm streaming, which is, thanks a lot, Stream Elements, for being approximately a few minutes late. But that's okay. Today, we're streaming the Oakridge Season 9 World Tour, which is a big moment, because Season 9 was a wonderful season on Oakridge, which is the realm that I play the most on. And I'm actually the owner, one of the co-owners of the Oakridge community. It was started by Miranda, and then I joined the owners team, and now I help keep everything running. Season 9 Season 9 was basically our 1.17 update. So we reset just before 1.17 or just after it. And we set everything up, we got the season running, and it was always meant to run just from 1.17 to 18, so just June to December. But it was a crazy season, just totally crazy. Like for me, I moved across the country. I moved from New York to Washington for university, and that's wild. It took up so much time, but I still made the season have my best base and builds yet. So I'm really excited to show that. But before that, we also have to acknowledge that there's so many amazing members who played with us. We had tons of people who played on the realm throughout the season. Can't talk today. Picked a great day to stream. Um, so many people played on it, and that made our community whole. Even though, I was away and my co-owners were both away, the community kept playing and just coming back and talking, and it was so good. My music seems to have stopped, so I'm going to get that started again if it chooses to cooperate with me. Gotta figure out, so I can see that I gotta figure out a few things. I gotta figure out my stream resolution, I gotta figure out my music, but for now, we're just gonna get through it. We're just gonna get through the storm, we're gonna enjoy it. So, let's actually acknowledge that we have someone in chat. Very special someone. We have Marie in chat. Oklahoma Marie, or Molly Wobbles Marie on Twitch. Oki has been an amazing member on the Oakridge seasons, and she played even through all the last season. She built amazing things. Her bases are always some of my favorites in any build that we do, any season that we do. And last season she joined our admin team, and this season we've actually promoted her to our admin team. Fancy, I know. So we're gonna take a look at some of the builds that she did this season. And yeah, thank you to Oki for being in chat, and we are now going to start the tour. Welcome to Oakridge. This is our starter kit room. We do it every season. It's in a very similar style to this. When you exit, press the button above the kit. That will refresh all the contents of the kit. Players will then take a stone pickaxe, break this, and then get one of many other kits. We have brewers, we have nether, lumberjack, fisherman, rancher, archer, miner, and warrior. 8 kits that they can select from. Typically, the most common one is the miner kit, wherever that is, because it has an iron pickaxe right from the go, which is, you know, really fun to start with on a very fresh season. And yeah, so everyone gets a kit. This season, we filled it with a bunch of things. Filled it with some maps, some torches, some armor, and then we filled it with 3 books. 3! Crazy! That's how you know it's an advanced season. This is our rules and info book. I went a little bit overboard with it. It ends up being 26 pages long. We're not going to read it, but you can pause if you want to, if the frame's even loaded. We had our 16-page about add-ons book. This one was a little bit chaotic, but it was fun nonetheless. Then we had our community projects book, 6 pages, and this one talked about all 4 of our community projects. We're going to visit those as well, and we're going to explain them as we go. But for now, let's press this magic button and get to our town hall. Wait for things to load in because I'm on a potato computer. And welcome to the Oakridge spawn. The Oakridge spawn is a magical place. It's the heart of our community. We have a lot of things going on here every season. And season 9, we made it in a jungle. So everything's super bright, super green, super lush. And it's a wonderful place. Out this way, we have the residential district, which has all of our members' builds. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, we're going to take a look at the shopping district, which has all of our members' shops. We'll be back there as well. We have a utilities district, which houses a bunch of things. We'll check that out now, actually. In the utilities district, we have 6 huts. These huts include some of the things that make Oakridge what it really is. We have a mender, where we can actually set our things up. I fear the lag in this game is very, very bad. This is a mender. If you have mending on your gear, you just push this button and you get tons of XP right to your hands. You also have an XP exchange where you can pay an emerald and get 30 levels for free, which is great for starting your enchants. We have a bank over here. We have an ATM. We have free ender chests for all of our members because we want to encourage using them. And we have the resource peddlers. This has been a staple of Oakridge for as long as I've been here. I got here in Season 3, we're now on Season 10, and this is Season 9. Got here in Season 3, it was originally command blocks, but recently, we switched to a custom mob, the Peddler. It trades a bunch of things up and down for one another. Flint, copper, gold, iron, emeralds, and diamonds. You can trade them in a 3-to-1 ratio with these wonderful peddlers. And that makes our economy one of the best ones around. Heading over here to the 3rd building, we have the Library of Oakridge. It's a great place, tons of books all around, lots of little poem books. Some of these might have stuff written in them, some of them might not. Here, we have a journal. Oh, that's adorable. Day 1. It's my first day in this town called Oakridge. The people here are kind. Almost too kind. Further examination is required. I found some blue shinies underground and I'm hiding them in my pocket. And then more pages. These are some of the little things that I kind of we never really get a chance to check them out too much during the season itself. Because a lot of them aren't really that written in. But sometimes you just find those lovely things like the journal. And, you know, I guess it was a really good coincidence I clicked on that one. Never would have looked in it and thought there was something there. We have our enchanting setup with some free books, grindstone anvil, ender chest lapis, and, of course, the enchanting table. There's no door that side, wrong season. Heading out this side, we have a community smeltery. Here, we have all of our smelteries. We have all of our furnaces, blast furnaces, everything that you would need. Some resources apparently, thanks to Key. And it's quite a nice area in here. Fun fact, when it's raining, it'll rain inside here. Not sure if I really want to set this to rain because I fear that my computer will die, but we're gonna do it anyway. Let's see if the bug still exists. Maybe. Is it raining? It's raining outside. Is it raining inside? Oh, they fixed it. That's mind-blowing. We're gonna clear the weather. This is in a ticking area. So a ticking area is basically something that means that the chunk is always loaded. So if we head way up here, we'll start to see something come into view. This right here is our admin room. Our admin room is the house of all of our amazing commands. We have so many custom things that run on the Oakridge server. This season, we had a few systems, which I'll explain in a moment. Our admin room has to be constantly loaded because, as you can see, we have a ton of command blocks in here. And if any of these are unloaded, then, things will break. So here we have a scoreboard display. This one will actually kill all the mobs within spawn time, so it will be totally spawn-proofed. It's amazing. This one over here will make sure that the admin room is protected, so only admins, veterans, and owners can enter it. This one is, let's see, a boat killer. We'll get to that in a moment. Here we have a Mender defender, so that Mender, XP Mender that we looked at before, that one will always stay safe. My music has stopped again. Goodness gracious me. What if I do this? If I turn the video on, maybe it'll work. That probably makes no sense to any of our viewers, but maybe it'll make sense to some of you. So that one will protect our Mender. This one teleports all the bad mobs into there. Here we have our hours played scoreboard. We'll see that in a moment as well. We have more spawn protection, a little bit chaotic. We have more of the Mender stuff. We have an anvil, so that'll always get replenished. Then we have some teleports to community storage, some boats, and a smelter fueling. Here we have some more stuff. It's a wonderful room, isn't it? We have Patreon gear, we have Dragon's Breath, Abba gear, a bunch more things, some of the Oakridge books that I have in my hand but in unsigned form. Then we have our paintball setup. We have some gear from, oops, fell through a hole in the floor. Everything's fine. Some gear from a member who left, and then we have the Mender setup. So this is all inside the chunk, and it is constantly loaded. So what that means is that anything else in the chunk will also be loaded, and that includes our smelter. So that means it'll load even when no one is anywhere near the area. It's a great place to be. Here we have our miscellaneous hut. We have a thunder shrine, so we can make a thunderstorm. Our recording scoreboard, so we can make sure that everybody knows when someone is actively recording on the realm. And we have an hours played scoreboard. This will tell you just how long everybody has played. Me, I was on the top. I was at 234 hours at the end of the season. Laurendale was at 228. Oklahoma Marie was at 138. And then we had a few other members. I believe Miranda was at 108. Mars was at 101. And then some other members were also on that list. This is a wonderful list to be on, even though it doesn't quite work in single player. And it's just one of our fancy little things. We also have a lava cauldron. Any items thrown in here will appear across the road. So let's throw in our community builds book. See how that goes. Just threw an item into the lava cauldron, but we didn't hear a sizzling noise. So into the community storage we go. The last building of our huts. Here we have a bunch of random items that people have filled up. We have seeds, we have purple dye with our custom texture, a lost and found, and then we have our items delivered from mines and lava cauldrons, including my book. My lovely, lovely book. Isn't that wonderful? Close the door, there we go. Here we have our spawn maps. Here we can see a whole progression of how spawn has developed since day one. We started off with this original map built by me without any trees on it. Then in the next few days, we added in all the trees, everything got set up, and we were ready You are ready to start playing on the season. Isn't that exciting? Then, day one, people started to build their houses. Spawn town started to fill up. More starts to grow in. We got a little tree farm over there. We get some of the plots in the back, like Oklahoma Marie's and Sandra's, X Artemis, Urban Artemis, something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head. Then we start to see some little shops start to develop. The spawn town is almost totally filled up. All its houses. 1 month in, spawn town is very, very well developed. And here we have our unlocked maps, which are basically the most updated copy of them. To explain how things are laid out, we have a mini games district over here, which we're facing right now. Mini games district, check that out in a moment. We have our little utilities district over there, farming area up there, which we'll get to in a little bit. We have some shops, we have a residential area, a park, a graveyard, and some villagers. First, let's check out this little mini games area. It's quite a nice place to be. Not much happened in it this season, but I did get some builds in. First, we have the Plunge. The Plunge is a pretty simple game. People set their spawn, empty their inventories, then take this little bubble column up to the top of this tower. Then, they take a lily pad, they jump, and while falling, they place a lily pad and survive by landing in the water. This is a multiplayer game, and whoever dies first loses the game. They gotta survive every time. We also had dodgeball, where people were on half a heart, stood on either side, threw harming potions at one another, and then backed right off. Those were the two main games that I actually got a chance to build, but I was in the middle building this game. This is Ravager Run, where there's a cityscape that players are in, and they have to run around while being chased by ravagers. As they run around, they have to find the correct building, then they have to go into a building, and they have to enter it. There's a building somewhere around here. There it is. Buildings with iron doors are the correct buildings. So they gotta then press the button, get inside the building successfully. There's a little bit of decoration, but for the most part it's empty. Players would then go up here, grab a block from this dispenser, and then pop out, jump down, and still escape all the ravagers while making it right out the entrance. So this would be a really fun game, but as you can see, it's a huge, huge project. I made it all the way back here, and I was still almost running out of space. It's crazy. So there was still a little bit more that I had to do, and I didn't quite get through all of it, but that's alright. So the minigame season is quite a nice place, and one day we might still have a minigames playing session, but our current season, Season 10, has a much better one, so we'll be on there soon. Now, we are in the farming district. The farming district is a great place. We have tons of community farms, so like a tree farm, bunch of crop farms, and each of the farms has a little hut where some of the items are stored for any of our members to use, harvest, or trade with villagers. We have the cute little vines area. It's a great place to be, especially important in the starting days. Then, as you saw for a moment, we actually have our town hall over here. Town hall is at the center of every spawn town. Every spawn, maybe not quite in the center, but pretty close. It's the hub of a lot of the things we do. Every season, we have paintball on the main floor. We have what's this called? Mailboxes on the middle floor. We have a viewing area and a Elytra launch pad on the top floor. But this season, we did a few different things. This season, we had some boatways and aqueducts in the basement, which we'll use in a moment. And we had community projects up here. So, let's actually hop on into them. First, let's head to the Magic Forest. The Magic Forest is quite a nice place. It was a little community build. The goal was to have a little alliance between witches and wizards to create a magical society. We're gonna clear the weather again. Not too much happened over here. We had a little tower in development over there. We had a big little screaming tower in development over there. But for the most part, it wasn't too much that happened over here. Now, we also want to head to, how about the islands? Let's go to the islands. The islands was meant to be a modern paradise. Amazing stuff was meant to happen here with three mushroom islands, lots of modern cities, and not much ended up actually happening here. But what I did do, I made a tower. I made a tower on top of some grass. It looks quite nice, and it's about the extent of what happened over here. My build, pretty hollow, not much inside it. We're just gonna breeze through this. I went too far. That's fine. Thing's fine. Nope, too far again. Ah, way too far. I'm really good at this, as you can tell. Next up, we have the Winter Wonderland. The Winter Wonderland was a project that actually changed themes in the middle of the season. The Winter Wonderland is a project in the Nether. It's inside of a basalt delta, and it's snow. Look at that. You can see that we use the ash to create snow. We have the terrain over here, and I built just a cute little house in here. This is one of my favorite projects, and I really want to do more with this theme of the ash being snow and it just being snowy all around here. But this was a wonderful little house. There's some villagers, there's a kitchen, dining table, fireplace. In here we have the start of the beds. We have a few more beds, and we have a little balcony up there. And it's generally a very simple house, but I loved it. I was very happy with it. I used some of the candles. I used some of the fancy nether colors, and it just made it so cozy, so lovely. Made me happy, and I'd love to do a fair bit more with this. Why am I not going through the portal? Please take me through the portal. Next, we're going to tour the fourth, the final community project of the season, and that is the World of Colors. The World of Colors is a place that's meant to be full of rainbows and pride and everything. The ground was going to be all plasticky and concretey and colorful and rainbow. It's great. There's some chests here with some resources, and you know, it's a lovely area. As you can see, the community projects didn't quite latch on last season, but that's okay because we have so much else to see. We're now going to head down to the basement. We're going to go down here, not to the residential district, but to the shopping district. Hop on here, grab ourselves a boat, and let's go. We are going to go all the way down this tunnel. These are our aqueducts. They're nice and themed. Every direction has its own theme. One way has red, one way has blue, one way has yellow. And we are going to go through this tunnel under a little river and to the island. The island is where we had our pet cemetery. Nobody's pets died this season, so nobody used the cemetery. That's okay. We had our villagers. On Oakridge, all of our villagers are customized. Every single one of them. All their trades are custom, so we have our librarians, which actually have 5 book trades. 5 of them. We have our armorers, which sell each level of armor. We have our blacksmiths, which sell each level of tools. And we have a bunch of other things all throughout our villagers, which we won't dive into too much. Some of our most important ones are the collector, where you can actually buy and sell super duper rare things like a nether star, and our dungeon master, which powers our custom mob spawner system. That's crazy. You can get custom monster spawners, custom spawn eggs, and so much more. and it lets us make so many wild and crazy farms. Now, away from Island Way and on to Copper Court, we're gonna head down the street. There's some caves over here. Silly 1.17 cave is so boring. And we're gonna check out my shops. First, we have Under the Z, where I sold all of my monuments and wares. And hi, Mars! Hello! Welcome to the Season 9 tour. This is the Sights of Flight. This is one of my shops. We sold rockets there. I think that's tied into my End of the World shops. Do this every season. We have dragon heads, lots of gear, shulkers, bulkers, which is my fancy word, bulk and shulker. So that gets you some discounts, and of course we have our elite shrimp where you can buy them for super duper cheap, only 10 diamonds. Then we had Laurendale's standard shop, the Wool and Leather Emporium, where she sells wool of all kinds. Sells leather as well. And there used to be some sheep under here. I don't really know where they went. At sad times. Then, actually, let's finish off these plots. We had the bookshop. Here, we had low tier books, high tier books, enchanting tables, bookshelves. My starter shop. Didn't really do too much with it, but it was very important early in the season. Still at work. You just got offered a promotion? What? What are you getting promoted to? That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. Over on the other side of the road, we have our what's these called? Shop stalls. Yeah, little market stalls. Here you can just sell small little amounts of items. In this one you get mining services. You can place little requests. Here we have axolotl adoption. Down here we have the Mangzy horse gear, Marsy and Zingzy horse gear. We sold horse armor and saddles because we got a bunch of them while end raiding. And here there used to be something here. I think it was my meat shop. Don't really remember that too much. But yeah, yay for Mars getting a promotion. We are now going to go to the Nether Hub. The Nether Hub is a wonderful place. Didn't spend too much effort on it this season. I just built like a little dome thing. We have our standard 4 tunnels that head on down to each location. We have our gravel desert. We have our mesa. We have Oakridge Base. We'll get there very soon. Very soon, I promise. We have Mega Taiga, Nether Fortress and Blaze Farm. We have our full season maps. This is our main map. Everybody builds something on here. They're amazing places to be. And we kind of see the development of things on here. We can see bases over here, bases up there, bases over here, and bases over here. It's a really big area. We'll get there soon, I promise. So these tunnels are not too much to look at, but we will go look at Oklahoma Marie's base very soon. Heading through the top of these portals, we get down to our netherite mines, which, well, I guess we aren't going to see them. That's quite alright. Wasn't the most exciting bit of the season. The most exciting bit of the season is all around here. This is our residential district. Throughout the residential district, every single member builds a plot. And within their townhouses is a teleport. And that teleport goes to their main base. And that's the main attraction for today. We're going to look at everybody's main bases and see how they went. So I'm not going to do this in too much of a particular order, but there are a few bases that I'd like to save for last. Mine is going to go last, of course, because I'm special. I'm me, and I love doing that. I'm going to go last. Miranda's and L's are going to go close to last, and so is Frosty's. And then Oklahoma Marie's also going to go close to last. We want to finish it out with some of the best stuff. Here we have Catman's Home. I don't think Cat built a base this season. He just built a starter house, which is quite alright. A lot of our members do choose to only advance in the beginning stages of the season. Here we have Ocean Serpent, or Grace's base. We're going to press this button and get teleported right to her home. We're in a tunnel, waiting for the light to update, and bam, here we are. We have some views out on the jungle. We have this lovely little cave with the three axolotls all grouped together. We have a white, we have a pink, we have a brown. They're all having some fun times over there. Little storage system, some bookshelves and a bed, and some basic gear. Heading up and out the front, we start to see that there's even more stuff around here. This little top exit links up somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Can't find it. On a tree. Links up on a tree to a little spiral staircase which heads on down past the waterfall, overlooking this little tunnel. And we follow this path down under a little cute little cove to the water, to the river, or to the cow pen. It's very nice. It's a lovely, adorable area, and we love it here. There's also this absolutely gorgeous bridge. Look at this. You have an A-frame bridge with some leaves hanging down and a little melon farm growing over here. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much to Ocean Serpent for showing us your base. We are in a backup copy, so I'm just going to break through the wall because I'm me. Just wanna keep things moving, you know. Now we're back on the main floor, and we are going to head to whose base is this? This is Echo's base. Echo did quite a lot this season. He really pushed himself out of his comfort zone, and he built in a place that, we weren't going to see for too much longer. This is an extreme hills biome. It's not the most pretty biome, but it's a great place to build if you really want to push yourself. There are tons of bridges. It's snowing around here because apparently clearing the weather doesn't do it for long enough these days. That's okay. And is my music not playing? My music's not playing. My goodness. We have some bridges over some very deep valleys over here. And a little bit of a storage system over there, or storage monster, rather. Some more bridges which head through these tunnels and form this huge little base location. Then we have this mining pit, this little well area, which if we head on down here, we get a lovely glass view of the ocean, the surrounding area, and all the way down to what was going to be the mines area in the future. If we head out and around here, then we get to this. This is a lovely, lovely bridge. It covers the entirety of the Bay Area, it spans it off, creates this lovely enclosed area for swimming, for recreation, for making boats, for enjoying your time in life. You can walk around on top of it. You can head around this path. You can go up and circle on back into the mountain, where you'll find these water elevators that'll take you way up to the top, where we came on in with that teleport over here. Or you can stay on down at the bottom. Staying down at the bottom will take you through another little web of tunnels and movements, and that'll bring you out to the bottom level, where we have these sea lanterns to light up the bottom of the water. You have this nice view with the trader llama, some torches over there, and a boat for fishing. And if we head over here, I need to sneeze. I do hope that emergency mute button worked. If it didn't, I'm very, very sorry. But if it did work, you just missed a sneeze. We're now here down at the bottom level where we can link up to the bridge. And we can walk down actually on the bottom level of the bridge. Echo tried to focus a lot this season on keeping the paths up and making sure that everything stayed interconnected. And I think that he did a really good job. This is the biggest base that he's ever built, and it's super duper impressive to see all the work that he put in to making sure that everything stayed connected. You could take your boat through all these little tunnels, you could walk all around here. I loved it. I'm very proud. Very, very proud. This Echo has gone from just building square little box huts into whole sprawling bases in the mountains with block variety and everything. If we now head on back out, we're going to skip past these bases for now. We're going to head on over to the opposite side, where we get Key's Abandoned Shack. Actually, we're going to save this for later as well, because that ties into a bigger base, which we'll talk about in a minute. But for now, here is Sofia Xox's little area. We have a ladder to a little basement area where she was mapping out the area with some item frames that are custom textured, and using our custom chisel blocks. Mosaic andesite. You can see these chisel blocks taking a little bit of a hint all throughout here, all throughout this house with the tiles on the floor. Now, we get to the base, the lovely base. For the longest time, there was a copper field sitting out here, like David Copperfield. No, was not David. There's an AFK house in here with a nice little bed, but the main attraction is this gorgeous, gorgeous walled city with all the mob heads along the outside. Thanks for following, Sarah. Welcome to the stream. You get to hear my voice, you get to see Season 9. No, you weren't here too much for that, but it was a great season nonetheless. We had the walls. The walls also used our custom chisel blocks to add some depth, to add some texture and color, and it really created this feel that was pretty close to vanilla, but not all the way there. Then, we have this lovely, lovely little house in the middle. Some farms all around here, but most importantly, was this gorgeous house, which I haven't actually even been inside of. We have this wonderful kitchen area with a fridge over there, a little desk here with a computer, some storage, a lovely chair, which I accidentally broke, no one saw that, and some elevators up to the top floor where we have bunk beds, storage, and more. This was a lovely area. I hadn't gotten too much of a chance to explore it. I never realized that it actually got finished. I'm really happy to see it done like this. It's so wonderful. Heading out of this lovely place with all of this, you know, a little bit of laggy mess. Yeah, hello, Sarah. I don't think you can hop onto this world since we are playing on 1.17 and doing a Season 9 world tour, but I would love that. You do need to use the stone cutter more. There's so many possibilities that are unlocked with chisel. Like, we don't quite have deep slate in there yet, but if I just pop in planks into there, even our stone cutter can actually cut wooden planks up. We can get tons and tons of recipes, like crates. We can have little crates for storing stuff, like the old-fashioned version of barrels, which are great for putting on docks and stuff like that. There's so many possibilities there. It's lovely. We are now going to head to Marsy's base. Mars is one of our admins. Mars is one of my absolute bestest and longest lasting friends ever. And they are just so wonderful. Speaking of Mars, I have gotten some messages. Okay. I have some information about the promotion. Good job, Mars. I'm so proud of you. Oh, that's so wonderful. I love that. This is Mars's base. Mars had some trouble figuring out a base early in the season, but by the end of the season, they'd figured it all out. There's this lovely crop field here, which I actually really like. We have this like diagonal effect with it, so it looks like it got some variety, but it's like organized variety, if you get what I mean. I think I need to steal this technique. I think I'm stealing that. There's the teleport. There's a dark oak tree, which I grew in one of the last days of the season, and a basalt farm, which I set up pretty early on. And then, ignoring the little despawn beacon down there, we have the main cave. This cavern is a wonderful cavern. It has teeth, it has openings, it has storage, it has this gorgeous, gorgeously shaped portal. I love this so much. It's the forbidden egg. Do you want to eat this egg? Do you want to eat this egg? I don't know if I want to eat that. But again, there's some fossils. This one looks almost like a hand reaching out of the ground to grab you. There is a little secret area back here. For anybody who notices, is the Cave of Holes, which, yeah. Moving on. Wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. It's been a while since I've been on this world. Everything's fine. We are now heading back to spawn. Here in spawn, we have these builds. Lovely again. We'll check those out in a little bit. Here, we have fewer parties spawn house. This is so creative with the spikes poking out of the water and then these islands and resource storage up on top. For this tiny plot, these plots are only 15 by 15, by the way, 13 blocks on the inside. But for 13 blocks, fewer party fit in this gorgeous spawn house, and it looks so good. Then we have Star's completely normal house, uprooted from the ground. You get in the roof, then you get to the main level with some storage and lovely areas throughout here. Then we also see Draco's little house over here. This is a hobbit house, and it's adorable. There's some holes in here for the bedroom, for the basement, which has, wow, the big basement, a conjoined basement with Star's house and Draco's house. Not quite finished yet. That's okay. We also have this lovely little living room area with a window out to the back. And yeah, that's Draco's adorable hobbit hole. Then let's head to this side first. On this side, we have Natalie's base, or Willow's base. Willow did a lot this season. Willow has some, or not a lot this season. Willow has some amethyst blocks over there. Started getting some deep slate and some early resources, but Willow didn't get too far into it this season. That's okay. Here we have Luca. Luca is one of our most recent members on season 9. Luca joined just before the season ended, but had a little bit of stuff to do. The music ended. You know what? I think we're gonna switch. Instead of using that music, which doesn't really want to work today, we're just gonna use Minecraft's music. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do something like that. Oops. Pressed the button a little too much. And music at 100 and main volume pretty high up. Alright, theoretically, this will work well. Alright, so we're now in Luca's little area. Luca joined pretty late into the season, but they played a whole lot. So, heading over to their main base, we have this gorgeous, gorgeous area. Here, we have a demolished village. The village used to be here, but is not here anymore. There's an open area with some spawners. The spawners all funnel on down to underground here, where we have a killing area. We have some horse pens over here. some more of that demolished village, and some pathways with a fountain in the middle. It's such a pretty fountain, especially with the gilded blackstone. Then we have some storage up there. We have a nether geode. It's so pretty. A nether geode, a normal geode. We have some villager pens. They're not trapped. They're just having some fun. I know it was all trees, but now it's just such a wonderful area. It's so pretty. There's all these geodes. There's even some adorable mushrooms with the glow lichen growing on them in the villagers that are definitely not trapped. Then if we head over here, I heard a boom. Where did I hear it? Where did I hear a boom from? Oh, this links up to the main floor. That's lovely. What we're gonna do? We're gonna say, yeah, stay clear forever. What do you mean it's not a valid number? That's a very. Hello? Okay. Okay. Good. Clear weather for now. You have this little lava pit. We have an adorable tropical fish tank with some kelp in there. And then we have the storage system. There's quartz all along here. And then we have an empty little basement. This is a lovely little area. And then we have the bedroom. This is so pretty. There are cats everywhere. There are plants. It's spruce and bookshelves and desks and studying and oh, this is so nice. My battery is dying on my computer. Everything's fine. We have done it. This is Luca's base, and we are now plugged in on my computer. I love this space. It makes me very happy. But now we must head outside because it's now time to take a look here at Xox Base. We are now going into the shack of Xox and to Xox's main base. This is a lovely area right near spawn where we have, what's this say? Xox Base. There you go. There's the proof. There's a cute little lake over here in a forest, and then a tiny pond right here. And we have a house. It's a wooden house, dark house, and we have the fence windows, which I love. I don't do enough of these fence windows, but they create such a wonderful environment around here. More signs claiming it as Xox. There's a second floor up here as well, where we get an open roof. Ain't that nice? More signs. Then we have this forest area up here and a floating island. Now none of this terrain right here, none of this was here before. Xox actually made this and customized it to fit the house and to suit it better. There's these building blocks that we can see around here, some caves that he must use to dig up the resources. And this whole area was terraformed. So now we have this lovely island, this lovely walkway over here, which actually connects to the new bit. And up on top of the new bit, we have a tree, and we have a floating island with a waterfall that creates the perfect setting for the back of the house. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Now, we are starting to enter the back portion of the stream. The back portion of the stream will have a few main bases. First, we will have the mega base of Oki and Sandra, where we have the big base, and then we have the satellite base. Then we will have Miranda and Frosty's base, which is our co-owners. We have Laurendale's base, and then we have my base. So, I am going to take a very quick break for, let's say, a minute, just a minute, and we will be right back. Hello. Hi. Hello. We're back. That was a little bit longer than a minute, but I got some water, and I am now feeling properly refreshed. So, let's jump into it. First, we're gonna head on over to Laurendale's base. Whoop, whoop. And Laurendale is our grinder. She does a ton of grinding, and listen to the sounds of these floors. Is my noise cancellation on? Yes, my noise cancellation is active. I need to check that because I can see my keyboard sounds were actually coming through. Sounds like a song. It's making a little Christmas song. Someone should do something like that. But Laurendale is our grinder. She does a lot of grinding. Like, a lot of grinding. And she has basically everything that you could ever want in a game. This is her starter storage. Her starter. Starter. That's crazy. But if we check out her actual base, you'll see the wonders that it holds. Let's step outside the main door for just a moment, where we have this cute castle. There's some deep slate, there's some spruce, The blocks work super well together, and we have this lovely, lovely window up here. If we head on the inside, the main floor is mostly empty, but we do have an enchanting table over here with lots of storage for books, a grindstone in there as well, and the main spiral staircase, which takes you to the top floor, or to the second floor, and then to the top floor where we have the roof, and all the way up into the top of the tower. But this is where the real stuff happens. We head down here. This is Laurendale's main storage room. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Everything that you'd ever want is in here. Nether bits, prismarine. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can come up with something. What would we ever want for a build? I think that I would want some food. I would want some food for my build to keep me fed. I'd want some wood bits, probably some dark oak, some oak. I would want. Let's get some spruce as well. Look how much spruce there is there. That's crazy. I would want, let's decorate it with a diamond throne. Hello? Did someone say diamonds? Look at this. Look at this. That's a double chest of diamonds. Right there. And none of this is cheated in. This is all totally legitimately gathered. All of this, Laurendale just mined it. Just casually. She went caving and just got more than a double chest of diamonds. Look at this insanity. That's 54 stacks plus, what is this? 6 and 40. 60 stacks of diamonds. Can you imagine? This is totally crazy. That picture you sent on Discord, Oki. Oh gosh. He's huge. That's how you know that he's very tired. Anyway. Oh gosh. Laurendale is just the crazy, crazy grinder of the server, and we love her for that. There are potions, a whole smelter array over here. This whole smelter array over here, rather. A bunch of redstone and furnaces. She's so good. She's so good. I love this area. It's not all, of course, because no, who can stop at getting a 60 stacks of diamonds? You have to get villagers as well. It's so crazy. Then, of course, you have this cute little curing setup down here, so you can make sure you have the best deals with all your villagers. But, oh, goodness me. Laurendale is just so wonderful, but so crazy. I could never do this level of grinding. We're gonna head back to the spawn house, and we are now going to check out Miranda and Frosty's base. Frosty is Miranda's current boyfriend, and Frost lived with Miranda for the season. They lived on this little island right here. Realized I was covering my mouth accidentally while I was talking out of habit. But this was their base, and let's check it out. Miranda built this season a modern house and modern towers on a spruce island. This island was actually, fun fact, not originally a mega taiga. Originally it was just these spruce trees, but Miranda went through and converted the island into a mega taiga with all the podzol the mega trees, and more. If we head down this way, we're on the beach with the cactus farm over there, and this lovely little hut, which was originally Miranda's starter hut on the island, but quickly became the villager hut. This lovely area has the same curing setup that we saw in the Laurendale Base, but also has a bunch of wonderful villagers to trade with, again with all of our custom trades. Miranda didn't stop just at creating all that stuff, she also found a shipwreck. We cloned it over here to her island, and we covered it in glow lichen, and this made Miranda very happy. She had a shipwreck on her own island, and it's a lovely, lovely little underwater feature to the base. Not many bases are seen underwater, but Miranda did some stuff down there. Then we have the most recent addition to the base, which is this tower over here. This tower over here is filled with a bunch of things, but most importantly, it was going to be filled with spawners. It does not look like it has anything in it yet, but the goal, I believe, was that eventually there would be spawners all throughout the tower, and she could just pick one to AFK at, then pop down here and stab all the monsters. But this right here is the main area. We have these lovely little drip leaf down here. We have a chicken farm in here, lots of cooked chicken, and some of the Laurendale's diamonds. This pond up here with the yin and yang symbol. And let's head on here. We have Frosty's horse and Miranda's mule. We have... Oops, pressed the wrong button. Oops, pressed the wrong button. Oops, pressed the wrong button again. I'm bad at... I don't know how, but I just opened up File Explorer. Wow. We have a kitchen area, some lava farms, some crop farms. We have a storage system down here where you have a bunch of items like empty chest of stone, some cobblestone and granite and diorite. We have the resource collection which is also empty. Miranda and Frosty lived together, and Miranda's puppy had puppies. So they were dealing with those new puppies, breeding them up, getting them sorted out for a lot of the season. So the house is pretty empty, other than an enchantment table, a map, stuff in the basement, and these dogs. Hello. Hello there. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture with the cats. And then, nope, can't run for I played Minecraft for 10 years, still don't know how to run in third person. A picture with all the dogs. Little Minecraft moments, so nice. And now we're on the balcony. Miranda's base was very, very nice and very, very happy, but it's not quite totally complete as much as she normally does, just because of that real life situation. Miranda was very proud of her starter house this season. She also used the amethyst floors. There's a little upstairs, which I've actually never been in here, with cakes, bookshelves, and beds. There's a downstairs area with furnaces smelting something up. Something up? Oh! That's a campfire. I was fooled. I was fooled by the illusion. I've been tricked. There's the starter storage system, the starter enchanting system, and yeah, that lovely, lovely base there. Now, we're gonna head on over here. Here, we have Sandra and Oakie's base. First, we're gonna check out Sandra's area, where we have these farms. We're gonna head on upstairs and open the door. Open the door. There we go. Turn around, and there's the teleport button. This season, Sandra decided to build a modern house. This modern house is up on top of a hill. We have some buttons with the wonderful little swimming pool. The swimming pool is overlooked by the house. Then we can head on up around the extreme hills terrain into the inside. On the inside, we have stairs back down to the main floor with this lovely map area, the storage area, some views of the pool, and if we head on up here, we have a balcony. This area is very, very nice, and I like it, but I just gave you a little sneak peek of what we're going to look at next. There's a big old base down there. Let's walk down here. Yeah, better with 800 boats, Oki says. Yeah, in the middle of the season there was a little prank where there were tons of boats spammed all around there. It was glorious. I loved it. And speaking of Oki, welcome to Oki's base, Oki's home. I don't know if she ever came up with a name for this other than home, but this is such a lovely area. Oki always makes just my favorite, absolutely my favorite bases every season. I just can't explain how happy they make me. This line marks the outer borders of how far her builds expanded, and it's so impressive, all the stuff that she got done this season. So we're gonna look at it from the ground. It's best viewed from the ground in my opinion, and we're gonna start from up here. We're gonna head past this main road, and let's check out the Nether. Is there anything in the Nether? There is. There's this open Nether road ahead. There's the spruce tunnel of wonderfulness, which links to Oklahoma Marie's base. Yay! I think I set this up early in the season. I don't even remember that. Huh. I like that. There's a little Nether area. The Nether is creeping out into the overworld. There's a tree that overhangs the road. And now we get into this farming area. We have some farms down there, up there. We have this pond, which says, hi, hello, hello, hello. We have some sweet berry farms over here, which lead right into the greenhouse. This is so cute. There are leaves hanging down, there are bees and flowers everywhere. I love how the beehives are disguised into the table like this. I don't think I've seen that before. And of course there's campfires underneath to make sure that you're totally safe. Oh, that's so cute. I haven't seen anything like this before. I love that. Oh. Look at all the bees pollinating their flowers. Look at them go. You go, bees. All around this lake, we have the center of the village, where we have some more farms, this time for potatoes. the paths continue where we have pumpkin farms. The pumpkin farms use very smart watering underneath trapdoors so that it stays hidden, but the crops all stay watered. And we have a barn. Look at this. There's wheat and carved pumpkins, some smart storage which blends right in. We have all the horses here. Marshall, Bruce, Mathers, and Slim Shady. I don't think you're the real Slim Shady. Hate to break it to you. You didn't like that? Well, I think I should back away now. I think I offended Slim Shady. Oh no. There's this lovely garden out in the back here. And some hay bale storage up at the top here, which, oh, there's a ladder. Totally missed it. I'm blind. There's a ladder up to store some hay bales there, and matching melons to the pumpkins on the other side. This area over here looks to me like a fish tank and aquarium area. And there's a crop field up on top, so it blends right in from the top. And then when you're looking at it from the side, you have all the fish, the water, the prismarine and dark prismarine up the top. There's even some copper in there. That looks so good in the aquarium because it looks like it's got the mold or whatever it's called all over it. Oh, that's lovely. This is so big, so wonderful, so beautiful. Didn't trample anything. You didn't see that. Here we have Oakie's house, which has got the most glorious floor ever. Wow. You walk in here and you're like, you know that they're rich. The owners of this house, rich. Down here we have some maps of the village. A little bit outgrown now. The whole main map, which we've seen a bunch of times. We have a storage system over here. What looks to me like a little mob farm over here. Oh, I didn't see that. Loot. Skeleton farm. And chests. Look at that. This is what we were talking about with... There's a trash compactor. Shoots all the stuff into lava. Genius. Genius, genius. This is what we were talking about with the custom spawners. There's spawners right here. Spawn the mobs into the killing chambers. And it just lets our players set up these wonderful little farms. There are 3 of them right there for a total of 6 spawners. If we head down here, I think, is the mines. We're not going to go all the way down there. If this was an edited video, we might, but we're doing this live. Heading on in here, we have a storage system where we have some meals stored. Meals are actually a custom item store in Oakridge, which, as you see, 10 full hunger haunches. Crazy. Tons of cats. Hello. Hello. Hello, Logan. Hello. 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 And then there's gear. Oklahoma Marie's Patreon hoe, silk pickaxe, crossbow. There's some accidental soup, and a Patreon bait cast. Heading out the home of riches, we have some more of the village. Let's keep circling around this field. We have some carrots, which actually I think we already touched on earlier. Oops. So, we'll head down the main road. Passing by the wheat all along there, lots of grass and trees and pretty little mushrooms. We have the aquarium on the other side. We have this cute bridge that goes over the big, wide river. Look at this. Here we have our animal pens. There's some cows over there, Some chickens over there, pigs and sheep on either side here. And if we head past these dark oak trees, we get villager huts. All the villagers get their own little hut, their own little farming area to play with. We have Esme, Edward, Carlisle, Bella, Emmett, Alice, and villager number 20. Lovely. Looks like these villagers didn't quite get around to having a name yet, but fun fact, Oakridge has craftable name tags. Special little system here. If we now get out of the villager area, you can see how this fits in so wonderfully with the rest of the village's style. And if we head down to the base down here, we have the treehouse area, guarded by some sweet berry bushes and with some lovely custom terraforming. We have this mega tree. The mega tree has some pufferfish, some axolotls down there, paintings and barrels, chests and paintings and bookshelves and flowers, all leading right up to the top. We have hello, 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 hello. We have some candles and a bed and some storage, along with a heart of the sea. Now, we head on over to this next treehouse. This next treehouse, you climb up the ladder against the tree to get to this platform, where we then follow the staircase up to the wonderful rainbow treehouse. This is a gorgeous area, and one of my favorite things about how Oki does her bases every season is just how homey it feels. But you know what the best part of this is? We're not done yet. We're not, you ask? We're not? Of course we're not done yet. There's something else. And that something else is the Whimsy Village. As activity dropped off in the season, it was hard to find some motivation, and so Oki started a whole new project called the Whimsy Village, experimenting with new styles, new blocks, and with expanded creative capabilities. We have the Whimsy Village. There's tons of life in here with armor stands, all walking around, living their lives, doing everything they want to here in the library and the community area. This is just such a gorgeous build. The shaping on it is so nice. There's this amazing glass roof for all the light, and what I love is that it's actually built bordering a swamp. Nobody ever builds bordering swamps, but Oki did, and that's so wonderful. If we head on over here, we have this lovely area with the villagers and their crop farms. Every villager has their own house on stilts with some beds, some workstations, some of them hidden away, and a villager just closed the door in my face. Hello, kitty. There's an iron golem to keep them all safe in the spawn-proofed floating area, and all the villagers just live their lives. This area is adorable. Over here, there's a waterfall that leads down from this pond into the swamp and connects the whole thing to this wheat farm. This wheat farm is, to my guess, lived in by the Sign Glows. The Sign Glows is clearly the name of the villagers that live in here. The Sign and Glows. Quite clearly. The villagers in here live here and tend to the fields out there with their little their little farming area. And, you know, they live the life. They're totally safe from all the baddies, and they live in this peaceful village over here. In this pond, we have some salmon of all sizes. We have the small little baby ones, the more small little baby ones, and we have the big one. Hidden back behind the field, which I didn't even notice earlier, is another lovely little shack, which if you head on through it, brings you down on this mossy stone brick path to another pond. This is such a lovely area. If we just fly around a little bit more, we can also see Fofif's area. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Oki, for tuning on in and giving us some feedback there. You can even see that the ravine has been boarded off to make sure you don't fall in there. Not many people do that. Most people will just leave it open and let you fall in there. But Oki actually boarded it off. So, something that I actually totally missed from the library portion is an outdoor garden area. Here we have some reeds which have been growing all the way up, some cattail plants. We have this lovely little pond area where all the people can come out here to the garden. This area is just so gorgeous, with the fountains, the armor stands providing life as the villagers, looking at the heart sign and all the flowers and the plants. I love the little mossy stone accents all around the outside to give it some life. It's just such a nice area. We're not even done yet. We head on past the crop fields, down the main little path, to a gorgeous, gorgeous house. I mean, look at that roof. Look at the detail in that roof. It's so, so pretty. We fly down. And more villagers. This is another villager house with lots and lots of beds, some potions stored up in there for the villagers, some nether trees all around here, which I gotta say, I have never seen nether trees in a build like this. But these actually work, and they work so well. There's even a mushroom house, and it fits in. It all fits in so well together. Here we have another little pond with some more of the cattails and reeds. And then we have the other mushroom house, where the villagers definitely don't look like they're just trapped in a jar. Nope, not trapped in a jar. Who said that? They're living their lives totally free. We have some more mushrooms, tons and tons of custom terraforming and flower placing and animal spawning. So much stuff over here. This is just so lovely. So, so lovely. I am going to head on over to the library. I'm gonna stand on over here, turn around, and oops. Picture time. Ain't that lovely? Now, we have gotten through all of the bases except for 4 people. And those 4 people are me, Key, Star, and Draco. The 4 of us, with the help of some members who left earlier in the season, had decided much earlier on to make a mega base. As we leave Oki's lovely, lovely areas of just warmth, happiness, radiance, and joy, we head on past the high sign and instead say bye, because we are going to the super duper big mega base of doom. Let's start at my house. We have my plot with all of my gear, my chopper, my hoe, my spoon, my ripper, archer, my little axolotl, my skull wings, pants, butts, capitalist, guard, and toothpick. Of course, we have my ender chest contents with some diamonds, rockets, and lots more stuff. If we head down here, we have my spawn house basement, where I had my original storage area in here. Some little utilities, rust, because, you know, Oakridge custom textures means rust. Here, we have Penny the parrot, my bed, a little farming area over here. We have our emergency rations for me and my partner, along with a fish. We also have Evie the cat, Evie the kitty, my partner's little housing area, which up at the top has some balconies and some flowers. Look at this build, it's so pretty and I'm very proud of them. But it's time to head to my base. Here at my teleport hub, I have decided that I'm going to build up the anticipation by going to all my satellites first. We have a little cake that I made for Mars's birthday, where on the inside we have 2 different dimensions of loveliness with thrones for them to sit on. Moving on, we have, let's see what we want to go to next. We have a random farmhouse over here. This random farmhouse has a windmill, some farm storage, and a wheat field. It's quite near to spawn. Spawn is right over there, and it has a bridge. This bridge was a challenge for me, never built anything like it, but I quite like how it turned out in the end. Down there, we have a Laurendale's castle. Right there, links up by the path to this little bridge. That was a complicated bridge to build. I don't like building on diagonals, but I'm going to do it again. Now, we're going to go to... Oops. 1.18 cave test. Oh, did I put it in the wrong location again? Come on, hold on. Give me 1 second and I will fix that. Actively looking for coordinates while we listen to some cozy Minecraft. That's fine. Shh. Too much activity here. Too much activity in this channel that I'm looking for the coordinates in. I got this. I got this. I will find this. I'm getting close, I can tell. I found the thread. I found the thread. Just gotta find the actual specific coordinates in it. And almost. Almost. Is that it? No, that's not it. There it is. Okay, where'd it go? Welcome to my cave test. This was 1.17, so we had all of the blocks that we wanted in, but we hadn't quite gotten to the point where we had them actually in cave generation. Cookies! Cookies! I love cookies! So, I wanted to make a little demonstration of what I hoped that a cave would look like in 1.18. So I decorated along the outside with some emeralds, some lovely little area, some ores, some diamonds and coal, and then the inside. I was so proud of this area. We had ice caves, which were a thing actually pretty early into the betas, but didn't quite make it all the way through. We have some more dripstone and stone, and we have down here a lush cave. Even with some lava flowing out and tons of ores, we have this lush cave filled with tons of clay and greenery, and even some dripstone from the cave above. Speaking of cave above, right above the lush cave is a dripstone caverns, deadly and dark and filled with glow lichen. This area ties in perfectly with the lush caves to make the 1.18 caves. What I thought was that this was going to be ideal and that 1.18 would be worse. But you know what I was shocked about? 1.18 is actually better. It's actually better than my ideal version. It's exceeded all of my expectations. It is so wonderful, and I'm so excited to play more on Season 10. But for now, we are done with this very expensive and challenging project of creating an ideal cave inside of a mountain. So what we're going to do, we're going to head back to my main base. We're going to go to my final satellite before we head to the main base. This final satellite was a project that I took on from somebody else. Somebody else had begun building it, but it was then abandoned. And I was like, oh no, no, no. This cannot be abandoned. This is far too pretty to be abandoned. So I took this little base that I had and made it a full temple. And now it's gorgeous. It's got fences, it's got fancy walls and windows and shapes and everything like that. And best part is, it is right near spawn. There's the temple and there's spawn. So, we are now onto the main base. And to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to start at Key's base. We're going to head on in to Key's abandoned temple. Am I on an older copy of this world? I'm on an older copy of the world. Rude. Okay, so we're not going to head to Key's base, but we are going to head to some of the other members' bases who contributed to it. And we're going to do that by heading right to this teleport over here. And this teleport will take us right to the start of this super duper mega giant base. We start with the lighthouse up there, constantly flickering, on this terraformed island of sand. This paradise island has lots of life on it, as well as a minecart system, which takes the players right down to this little villager hut. We can then take the minecart right back up to the top, where, if we explore a little bit more, we'll start to see the city. We have a little speedboat over here, which connects to these docks, tons of armor stands around, and these crates, which you can get through the chisel mod with our Oakridge stone cutter. Over here, we have a custom terraformed island with some shulkers and some random blocks throughout it. We have a cabin in the woods, a modern cabin, very pretty, with a kitchen over there, a living area over there, and then a study and more living areas over there. This is an adorable area, which I did not build, but some of the other members who left a while ago did. We also have the spire on the island to round it out, poking above the treetops. It's still a little bit shorter than the tallest jungle tree, but this spire just rounds out this island with a final build in the corner area over there. Heading back to the main city, we have some more market stalls and the docks. We have a tiny little boat over here. Tiny little boat. And we have a bunch of these houses all using the stone cutter blocks, the fancy custom blocks that we get thanks to the chisel mod. They have interiors with kitchens, fancier kitchens, blacksmithing areas, bedrooms, and so much more. We are mostly going to glance over a lot of the specific stuff in this area because they were built from members who had previously left. But here we have Willie at his bar. Here we have what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just say bar again. Here we have a lovely wizard tower, and I finished out the area by adding some wheat fields because you can never go wrong with wheat fields, can ya? We have some wheat fields lining the path, and if we head down the path a little bit, we get this. This is a Pantheon, something like that. This is a quartz building in the town center with lots of trees around it, along with another wheat fields. You can never go wrong with them. Got a text? Why is it saying my megabyte use has been exceeded? I haven't used any of that today. Who's using my data? What's using my data? Did I make an entire video call on data today? That is no good. No good at all. Oh dear me. Anyway, lots of quartz in that building. That's our town center building. But over here, we have a little modern build. Again, blocked off because I was too lazy to do the inside. But this complements the build, which actually does have an inside. This little restaurant area has some seating and some bar seats. And that's a Nether theme build, so I took the style and ran with it. I also added a little fountain in the center over here, as well as a ruined house. This house is totally destroyed. It's overgrown, it's got magma poking through it, it's even got a tree growing out of it. Goodness me, this is a destroyed, broken house, but the framework lives on. We've got a fourth wheat field over here, along with some wandering trader llamas. And all along this path, we've got oh so many trees. The path then links up to this gorgeous, gorgeous area over here. This build is Key's build. Key has this little walkway down here. And this walkway has some rails on top to make it fully decorated. And as you pass under this magical opening, you get this lovely, glorious build. There are canals down underground where you can drive a little boat around. If we take a boat over to this side, you get out the other side of the mountain, other side of the jungle. So these canals are actually functional. They take you all around the place. But heading back through the canals, does it go out this side too? It does go out this side as well, linking right up to the ocean. Looked away soon enough that we didn't get any sneak previews, but heading up here, we have the main level of this magical abandoned structure with that really cool pattern on the roof. And the second level, this structure is abandoned and it's so pretty. It's round, it's got this amazing shaping to it. There's so much depth to it and so much amazing block variation with leaves and ladders and vines to really give that fully abandoned feel. It's just so pretty and I love it. It really rounds out this little community that we have over here. But this tour of the community isn't quite over yet. As we head on down the main path, we start to transition away from those members that had left this area. I finish off this area with the tree house, the wheat, and we end up with this little transition build over here. Here we have a dead tree with some swings hanging off of it and some some dead ground on the bottom. We have a sweet berry farm and a little storage shack. This storage shack harvests the power of the water. You got a sneak preview of what's to come there. But heading back to the path, that transition build starts to move us on into Star Sage and Draco's village. This village was a little bit incomplete at first. It had this lovely visitor center where you have this mom feeding her kid a lollipop, a redstone torch lollipop. The environment is important, Timmy. Remember that. Lollipop. And this visitor center is lovely. You can even sit down in the chairs. Hello. It's me, your tour guide for today. Heading outside, we have lots of trees and lots of space. We have this fully decorated and custom house with all these fancy new blocks from the stone cutter. It's got some rooms on the interior. And then we get to some of the things that I made, because everything from this point onwards is basically my builds. We have a little axolotl pond over here in this waterfall. This little waterfall has some seating around it, lots of trees. We have this front, this house. This house had a front created by Star and Draco, but I actually ended up just finishing it out, pulling the full front back, adding some walls to it, sides and back. If we then head over this way, we see a little villager, a little witch hut. It's very tall. It's got lots of windows, some dark windows, some light windows, lots of stuff. And we have a bridge. Another diagonal bridge. This was kind of hard to do, but I didn't add too much detail to it, so it's pretty okay. We then head on through over here, head on through the trees, lots of them, to get to this lovely little shack over here. This was also made by the members who had left, but it was a little bit dead on this island all alone. So I added the spire, I added the paths, I connected it up to the main area with a bridge, and we continued this little village theme over on this side. Over on this side, we have this lovely little house. This house uses lots of new blocks with deep slate, smooth basalt, the quartz, the calcite, the deep slate, and it has a balcony too, but as you can see, no interior. Don't pay attention to that. There's the back of the waterfall, which ties right on in with this wheat field and super duper tiny windmill. Look how small this is. This is adorable. It's very small. I'm very happy with how it turned out. But that just about wraps up the little village area. we now have to transition with this painful to place, super duper detailed road into the city. The city is a crazy, wild place with tons of skyscrapers and even some statues like this guy. This guy was taken from a world called Novigrad. He's a pretty lad. He has a ship on his hand. He stands up tall and proud. He's got a lovely hat, green eyes. It's gorgeous. If we now keep heading on into the city, we get to the big circular futuristic tower. On the outside, we have some chess places so people can sit down, play some chess with one another. There's some outside little trees over here. There's even these conversational spaces with fire pits in the center and a fountain out the front. If we head on up in the empty tower with no interior, you can see just how huge it is. It's a very, very big build. Tons and tons of stuff used in here. And we can walk all around the outside and see everything we pointed out before. We have the statue. We have the wizard's hut. We have the island with the trees. We have the roadways down below with the Ferris wheel, which we'll get to in a moment. The beach, which we'll also see in a moment. And some more skyscrapers. We'll check these all out in a moment. But for now, let's go on up to the last level of the skyscraper. This is a tall building, and here you really get to see the full high-up views. Let's head on out of this building for today, and let's get to the park area. This is a fun area. There's some parking spots over there, and up here we have this Ferris wheel. This Ferris wheel has a bunch of little capsules that alternate between redstone and wool and all of the many different colors that we have. There's some seats on the inside as well as a carpet, and all of these capsules have amazing views. Some of them are of the ocean, some of them are of the city, but they're an amazing way to view the place. Here we have a carousel. This carousel was a pain to build because of the dragon heads. I had to raid 30 end cities to get all these dragon heads. I went through my entire dragon head reserve, but I made it. I made a merry-go-round or a carousel or whatever it's called, and now the finished product is that you can ride it, you can head all around it, and it's lovely. There's even a hidden little detail that most people will never notice, which is that down under here we have grindstones. These mean that it can keep rotating around and around and around its golden, glorious center, which was very expensive and very gold taxing. But it was lovely, 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 lovely. If we now head around the back, ignore the large amounts of land that I had to flatten, we can now pop on down to the beach. Like any city beach, this is very crowded. Very, very crowded. Good luck finding a place to put your umbrella. You could try popping it in here. This would be a nice area, but there's people right behind you. Goodness me, where would you put your umbrella? This was a nice build. It was just pretty relaxing. I could just put a bunch of totally random things here, and I create a beach. Now, we're gonna head down this way. If we head down this way, we head past the statue, past little dirt roads and on the main roads. And as we head down the main roads, we get to the church. Look at these windows. These windows are gorgeous. They have multiple tones in them. They make the build so colorful, even though all it is stone, brick, and deep slate. The build becomes so much more colorful just thanks to those windows. There's a little bell in the middle up top as well, and it just creates this lovely little gay church. This is the gay church. Everything is gay about it, and it's a lovely place to be. Now, if we head around here, we're gonna get to that side later. First, we're gonna explore past this little round tower into the Tri-Towers. Here we have Tower 6H, we have Tower 3N, and we have Tower 3B. 9N and 3B. There's a central structure that links them both up, and if you head on inside the towers, you can even get a lovely view of the city by popping right on into this unified area, where we can see all of the builds all around the city with all of their various heights, small, big, super duper big, and small. This is also the tallest build in the city. It goes very, very high. Let's actually see how high it goes. The highest point on these towers goes to Y252. That is only 4 blocks below the build limit. I couldn't go much taller than this, could I? Sounds good, Oki. Thank you for coming to the tour. There's not too much more that we're gonna do today, but we're gonna finish a few things off. We're now gonna head to this building. This is Average Zing Headquarters. See the AZ? Average Zing Headquarters is a lovely place to be. You can work on the inside, you can walk through the outside, or you can head into our meditation garden with lots of custom trees, working spaces. You can work at all these desks outside, enjoy the garden fountains. Don't mind me, just sighing, chilling on the rock. You can work in all these lovely outdoor spaces. Wouldn't you love to just be able to work out here under the trees? In the gardens, the sounds of fountains rustling around you, and leaves and wind blowing all around. We're gonna head down this coastline and to the C building. This building, the Crescent building, the loop, was a pain to build. I hated it. I despised it. I don't know why I decided to build it, and this burnt me out quite a lot. So when I finished it, I was so happy. This building goes all the way up. It's the second tallest building in the entire city, and it is a lovely place to be. Although it is not very practical because it's very, very thin. We also have this amazing fountain on the outside. Loops around itself, just like the C building. Maybe it's the T building. And yeah, it even looks good from the back, although not quite as curvy. It's very, very intimidating. Imagine you're just walking along the street, you look up, you see that, you're gonna be scared. This here is one of the best, my favorite views in the city. You can really see just how huge the towers are. But then, we head into the early game. These are some of the first builds that I built in the entire season. I built them within the first few weeks of the season, and they're so lovely. Here we have the square tower with lots of different squares and colors and everything all throughout them. This was a little bit harder to build, but it was pretty fun. I ground it out in just a night. And here we have the docks. These docks were inspired from Corralis's season 7 build, season 7 city, with all their containers, a container ship that loads the containers up onto them, some vehicles that drive around with them, and even some pollution. This speedboat is going to save the pollution, trying to save the people from it. The pollution comes out of the city. This isn't a very sustainable city, but it's a nice one nonetheless. We have some parking in front of this beautiful building. This beautiful building houses my guardian farm. This was the first skyscraper that I built all season, and this was a chaotic guardian farm. In case you can't tell from all the items that I had to collect, we had all of our item drops on both sides, and we could craft them all up into materials for our guardian shop. It was a crazy, crazy build. Now we get to the gas station. The gas station has a car wash where you can drive on through it. Here are some of the cars at the gas station. If we get on inside, this building actually has an interior. We have the whole city map. Here we have the docks that we saw earlier. There's the spire, some of the wheat fields. There's the abandoned structures, some bits of the city. There we have the finishing bits of the village. And then we have a statue, Ferris wheel, carousel, beach, tower, headquarters, sea structure, tri-towers. Then we have the square structure, the docks and the industrial thingy things. There's the Guardian Farm, and there's the gas station where we are right now. Now we're gonna head into the final portion for the ferries. First, we gotta actually explore the rest of the gas station. I'm not smart. The gas station housed my storage system for the season. Look how many chests there are. These chests ended up growing fairly full, though I ended up using a lot of the resources from them by the end of the season. There's tons of chests here. There's lots of bulk storage for all the resources that I hoarded up. Down here we can see my little diamond collection, measly compared to Laurendale's, but glorious place. There we have some farms, some little utility blocks. If we head back here, we can see the redstone, which I built on gold blocks just to flex. And here we have the Undercity. You got a little sneak peek of it when looking at the Guardian Farm, but the whole city is flat, which means that we have tons of stuff underneath the city. And it's a mess. I built my redstone underwater because I'm dumb. And now, we're gonna use our little lift. Fancy little lift. I like this contraption. It was pretty simple to design, but it works. To head to the ferry area. See the water, see the parking, see the trees all around you. Here we head into the ferry area. The ferry area has a little carport for all your taxis to drop you off and give you a home. You then head on inside here in the very hollow and empty building that looks into the Undercity. And we head down to the lower level of the city. The lower level of the city is a little boardwalk that overlooks the ocean. Overlooking the ocean, we have some lava cauldrons. We can see our little industrial area over there from the views of this park. It's a very well-maintained park. There's nothing too much in here, not much grass. There's some benches though. As we pass by these benches and this lovely ferry terminal, we get to the ferry itself. The ferry itself has some lovely little radio antennas, a glass roof, a hot tub down there, and if we head on inside the glass roof, we get into... From the exit to the entrance, we get into a familiar sight, the teleport hub. This ferry terminal and ferry and teleport hub is just a wonderful, lovely place. It makes me very happy, and I love to just fly around here and exist here, because everything about the city is just... It was my build through some of the most chaotic and crazy parts of my life. I moved across the country, all while building this up. And that was so much work. The majority of this was built in just the first few months of the season, where I ground out resources like crazy, stacked up high, ground some more, stacked up high, ground some more, stacked up high, and built some skyscrapers. Many of these skyscrapers were taken from other people's projects, and credits are given to them in many of my screenshot posts, though I don't remember entirely where they came from right now. That came from a Japanese city, some of them came from Novigrad, some of them came from various city worlds that were created by many people. And I adapted all of them for my own use, and now they have fit into this lovely city of mine. If I got an extra chance, what I would want to do is add some monorail lines. I want to add some people walking around, some interiors to the building, maybe some cars on the road, some street lights, and some trains that were zooming around up on their little pedestals to make it even more futuristic. But for the time being, this was just one of my favorite bases that I've ever created. I am so proud of how everything came together in this world, and it makes me just so incredibly happy. So, what we are going to do to round the stream out is we're going to pop back to spawn, where we can now see my base on this main map. We have the little lighthouse over here, the lighthouse over here, the island over here, the spire over here, the little enchanted island over here, wizard hut over here, farms, docks, quays, abandoned area, and my city on the main map. It's a really big area, it's a really big base, but it's a lovely place and I'm so proud of it. So, to round out this stream, what we are going to do, we are going to head on over after briefly checking out the parks. After very briefly checking out the parks, we're going to briefly check out the parks. We've got some mushrooms over here. It's mountain over here. It's little little pond over here. It's boatway station over there. Picnic table over there. Then we have Gerald the Great, the villager over here, and lots of custom trees. So now to finish out the stream, we are going to head on over to season 10. So, pardon the no more video for a moment, because we're going to be checking something out today. Season 10 is our current, most recent season, and Season 10 began just 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, November 30th. Season 10 was under construction since the start of November in the 1.18 betas, starting in beta 1.18.0.25 and then upgrading to 1.18.0.27. Season 10 took a lot of construction, but we made it work, and we're really embodying the Season 10 1.18 terrain with varied plot levels and no more flatness in our builds. There's so much that we're loving to do with this season, and I'm so excited for it. And so, what we're going to do in approximately 60 seconds as my Minecraft switches versions from 1.17 to 1.18, we are going to go on a tour of Season 10. Unfortunately, 40% of my frames have been missed due to rendering lag throughout the stream, so it may not be the most high quality of streams, but as we play today, we are going to continue on going, and tomorrow, by the next stream that we have, we are going to enjoy and see if I can improve performance. So, give me one moment as we load up the next game, and I will get a drink of water for our next 10-15 minute segment of the stream. Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back! Today we're on Season 10. By today, I mean right now! Now, since we are on a realm where something else is hosting it, hopefully it will take less of a toll on my PC, but there's no promises there. Right now, we're comfortably sitting at 30 frames per second as we load the resources, generate the world, and hope to join the realm in just a moment. We've got our music back up and playing properly. In 1.18, we will see Sarahlim on the realm playing in just a moment. Let's hope that our frames continue to maintain themselves as we join this world that's hosted by realms rather than on my own PC. Seems pretty promising so far, but I anticipate some more drop frames soon. Hopefully playing on a realm is a good thing for us. Today we're going to be doing a Season 10 tour since we've just wrapped up Season 9. And this will be a great preview of what's gone on so far in Season 10. I am not prepared for this, by the way, so we're gonna just pop in there, ignore what you see. We're gonna pretend we don't see this, pretend you don't see this, pretend you don't see this, pretend you don't see this. Nope, you don't see this. Loaded up totally the wrong thing. Give me another 1 minute. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. We are back on Season 10. So, bam! We're in creative mode for this world tour so that we can fly around, and welcome to Oakridge. Let's get our game volume on up. There we go. And here we have the same setup as before, but this time we have a white kit. We have the same lots of blocks starting us off in our kits. Same many kits. This time, the most popular has actually been our villager kit, where we get villager spawn eggs and lots of breeders. Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Yeah, I don't actually have Twitch Prime subscriptions enabled on my stream because I am not partnered yet, but one day we will be. Instead, just follow me, keep following me, keep watching my streams, and we will be rewarded with some wonderful content. For now, here we have our mailboxes in our traditional layout. No community project things here this time. We have our top floor with an elytra launch pad. Then heading down to the bottom, we have our horse stables, as we saw before. We have paintball on the main floor, and heading into the nether, we have a lovely, lovely nether hub. This nether hub uses the mirror effect. It's a magical effect, and it's a lovely one. It makes you think that up on the top is the mirror, the same as the bottom, but it's not. Down in the netherite mines, we have Season 10's new warped wood texture. It's blue. It's blue, and it's gorgeous. Look at that. They're the same instructions as always. This is our nether mines. Our nether mines are quite pretty. And off to the other sides, we have our tunnels. Our tunnels bring us to many of our community areas. And the only one that we're going to look at for today, just for today, is going to be our Blaze Farm, because our Blaze Farm is a fantastic source of experience. That's our stronghold. I think I went the totally wrong way, didn't I? Didn't I? I built the Blaze Farm and I totally forgot where it is. Many of our custom biomes our community biomes are down that way, but our Blaze Farm is down this way. Is there a portal there? There is a portal there. Looked like there wasn't for a second. Heading to the Blaze Farm down this way. We end up at a giant nether fortress and Blaze Farm. The Blaze Farm is a great way to get experience. You know that we have our mender, you know that we have our experience exchange in our utilities district, but we also have a Blaze Farm. A Blaze Farm is a standard in every season of ours, but the Blaze Farm is community run. You get free splash potions, and it works phenomenally. Look at this side. We have 3 blaze spawners, which funnel down using a piston design into a singular killing chamber. We have our black and white design to really accentuate that back wall. If you spawn over here, the blazes will start spawning. They'll get pistoned down into the main killing chamber, as we can see over here. Then all we have to do is flick this lever, push this button, watch them get crushed and killed. As they get crushed, they suffocate, and that means that they get lowered down to the lovely place of one-hit kill. This is a very old crusher design, all the way from way back in 2018. So we have free potions and stuff over there, but what we are now going to do is ignore these skeletons in this very mob-proof tunnel, and we're going to head back to spawn. Playing on 1.18 seems marginally better for my computer. I'm currently sitting at 25 frames per second, which is a little bit better than our previous 15, but it's not that great. So I'm still going to have to look into how I can optimize streaming, but I just think my computer's a little bit of a potato. Now we're back at our town hall, and we get to explore spawn. Something very special about our mailboxes this season is that each of the mailboxes lines up with where the plots are. So each plot group has 5 plots, 2 in the front, 3 in the back. So we have 2 in the front, 3 in the back, and each plot lines up. So Samael, Sarawin, is gonna be right there in that corner, and you can see his little name tag jumping around back there right above my cursor. There it is. So let's take a look at all the plots that are all around here. We have the 5 plots over here, 4 plots over there, and 5 in every other location. We can start to see people's spawn house locations, where we have Sandra's lovely little hut over there, some flowers there. Down here we have Draco's humble little hobbit hole, just like last season. Over here in this back corner, we have Spear Frosty with his little build over there. We have the starts of an upcoming house with no name. Over here, we have Sofia Xox. We have Laurendale's lovely little build with this gorgeous roof. Haven't seen one like that ever before. Over in this area, we get King Bandit, Urban Helios' lovely little treehouse build. King Bandit has also built this lovely little road which links from Spawn Town all the way over to a meadow area up here and another treehouse overlooking Spawn. Isn't that gorgeous? Here we have Eva Dark's build, a lovely little house over here with some custom blocks. Here we have Oakie's build with some more custom blocks. Let's delete this message. How do I delete a message on Twitch? It's not possible. Give me a second. I should probably delete that message. On the bright side, the spammer that just responded to my message, responded in my chat, adds to the viewer count. That's so nice. You can ban him, then it deletes. Thank you. Oh, there's a little delete button. Delete. Yay! It worked! Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. I realized that all I have to do is right click on the name and I can delete a post. There's a really cool ban feature so you can time someone out for 1 minute or forever, or purge or something like that. But anyway, that's very cool. So, there we have Eva Dark's build, Oki's build. Down here, we have Star's little spot where we have this lovely dripstone pathway on over. Here, we have a peony for your thoughts. Whose build is this? This is Bree's home. Their build is lovely. There's a little glass house in there. Then we have Mars's beautiful build over here. Natalie's little tower up there. Mountains aren't just funny, they're hill areas. Don't stop believing. Then we have Luca's. Hope you don't mind me popping in. Haha. Then we have Sarah M's build, Flower House, or just House, Samael the Industrious. Ooh. Here we have Cloudy Skies, Key's build, who placed all the poppies everywhere. Then we have Butterfly View's build. Why is the flower like a letter A? Because a bee goes after it. I can't believe this, you're awesome. Oh my god, you made a bee pun. Ha ha ha. And there's mine, Wino Grass. Anyway, this spawn layout follows a very similar layout to the majority of our seasonal bases. We have our town hall in the center of, or as the focal point of spawn. Then we have a residential district, which this season circles all around town hall. Rather than just being a little offshoot town hall, it circles all around it, with the other districts then branching off the residential district. This top corner, we have the farming area, where we have our tree farm looking around it, and all of our 8 crop farms with their little crop huts. Then we have a teleports over here, which links us to the minigames district. The minigames district has 4 games in it right now, with a 5th one in development. We have dodgeball, we have the lily pad drop, which we saw last season, and dodgeball, but we also have Spleef, which we can play with the shovel. We have over here, we have TNT Run, where you can run around and try not to die. There we have Ender Ball. You take an Ender Pearl, you take 5 Ender Pearls actually, and you try and get as high up as you can. The maximum height that you can get to is way up at Y282. I got to 212, so about 100 blocks above where I am right now. So that's not too bad, but someone else can do better. Here we have a dungeon, which is going to be pretty fun for later on. It's going to be a randomized dungeon for players to run through. Then, as we follow this path back, we get to the shopping district. The shopping district has our standard market stalls over there, a link to the farming district via a quick teleport, which we can take right here, there, and back. We have our market stalls. We have Laurendale's Wool and Leather Emporium. Same exact design as last season, and we love it. Here we have enchanted books for multiple diamonds. Down here we have Marzy's messy merchandise market with lots of different market stalls just for themselves, with lots of different builds all throughout them. Then we have our utilities district with all the standard builds. The Oakridge Bank with our villagers and our resource peddlers. The experience building with the Mender and XP exchange. We have the S Hut, filled with lots of puns and messages. The second spent scoreboard shows how long everybody spent on here. The streaming scoreboard which lets people know when you're streaming on here, optionally. The special storage one, which gives you ender chests for free. The thunder shrine, which sets the time to night. And secret spawn proofing for invisible magical light blocks. Then we have the smeltery, which smelts some of your items down, but unlike last season, it is not constantly loaded. We'll get to that in a moment. Here we have the library. The library has our enchantery, anvil, grindstone, lots of little crystals, and free lapis. Then lastly, across the road, we have our community storage in the new design with lots of signs, storage for items that are brought up from the mines, storage for items that are thrown into lava cauldrons. We have more random wood items in our community storage, and a demonstration of the lava cauldron feature, along with a horse stable. Then we're going to hop on down here where we have the mines. The mines link up to some gloriously wonderful, amazing 1.18 caves, which dive way down there, way up here, and they're so pretty. Here we also have the docks with some horse stables. We have the pet graveyard right on over here where we have some pet deaths. Carlos, Panini, and Parrots all have died this season. Off to the side, we see a wild Saroim going up and down, as well as multiple levels in our mines. We have the high seas with coal and copper. We have Y16 with iron all over the place. The middle ground where you get tons of every resource, and diamonds way down at the bottom. These all follow our standard mining format, with the main area over here, the Saroim dying every time he goes to the mines. We have various tunnels with capsulites and everything like that. And we have bubble columns that bring us all the way back up to the top. The long bubble column ride, you know. We're at 1.18 now. Takes us almost a whole minute to get to the top and bottom. That's an exaggeration, doesn't take quite that long. Here in the center, we have a ramp that goes down from the utilities district to a wonderful terraformed cliff, and to the docks down here in the lake, our community project, along with an island. This island has our smeltery, which is, in fact, constantly loaded, and if you head way up to the top, you have the secret button to our admin room, with all of our command blocks, shulker blocks, killing chambers, and more. We have tons more command blocks this season to make our world even fancier, and we follow our standard design with a custom island. Let's now head on down from our very high up area and head on over to some members' bases. Which members have bases? Not too many people have bases right now, but some people have already moved on to the base creation phase of their builds. So firstly, we're going to head on over to Oklahoma Marie's base. We checked her bases out last time. This is Eva Dark's build, not Oklahoma Marie's. This is Oki's. We checked Oki's builds out last time, but this time we see her current ones. Here we have a round little lovely lake area. We have some custom blocks all around the outside. We have a lake. We have some wonderful places to explore and see with some great views of 1.18's new terrain. We have a mouse that doesn't want to cooperate with me. And over on this side, we have a fancy little underground area. This underground area is buried into the hillside of a mountain. And here we have some stone brick paths that head up and down into some caves and wander all throughout the area. If we now head back on inside and take the teleport button right back to spawn, there's the teleport button right back to spawn. This is not spawn. This is, in fact, a build on a snowy plain, snowy tundra. This is so pretty, but I don't know how to get back to spawn, so I'm gonna teleport there. Some of the other members who I know we have actually set up teleports for are Laurendale. I don't actually know if Laurendale has set up a teleport. Laurendale has set up a teleport. And Laurendale's base is one of my absolute favorites. It's a cabin up in some of the most gorgeous 1.18 mountains you will ever see. This lovely little area features a pretty cavern, a pretty cavern with lush caves on the inside, a pretty cabin with a poem on the inside, which we'll check out in just a second. Poem on the inside. Gonna go very slowly, but you can pause if you want to read it. And there's the cabin in the mountains. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna head on over to this little area in the back where there's a small cabin, a cute cabin. This cute cabin has a monster spawner on the inside over here, which we set up custom made for her. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of progress that happens in just the first few weeks, and we are now heading on over back through Laurendale's spawn house to the next person's build who we want to check out. Haven't set up a teleport for any of them. We'll check out Artemis's in just a moment. And we're going to check out Miranda Miller's, my co-owner, another co-owner of the realm. And Laurendale's a co-owner, and so is Miranda Miller. Miranda Miller has set up this lovely little teleport hub area. This lovely little teleport hub area has a circular standard building along with a bridge that links it all up. It is a glorious, wonderful area with some mesas, some sand, and a just jungle and just beautiful terrain all around. I'm gonna take a cat with me. No, we're not. No, I'm not. And we are now going to head on over to Mars's area. I wonder if Mars has set up a teleport to their base. Mars has set up a teleport to their base. Now, we are heading to a teleport hub in the mountains. This teleport hub in the mountains is a wonderful place up in the highest of peaks, way up here at 223. Then we get to the innovation. The innovation area is a wonderful place where you have the most glorious of redstone contraptions designed in efficient manners and wonderful places. Here we have some basic farms with sugarcane, pumpkin, and melon, and I believe this is a mob spawner with a sortage system for witches, creepers, skeletons, zombies, and more. Nice job, Mars. This is big progress from any redstone contraptions that I've seen created from you in the past. It is a wonderful place and wonderful thing to be. Now we're going to head on over to Sandra and Lucas's area. Yes. What do you mean, where was I? What do you mean, you know? What do you mean, where was I? I love you too, but what? I am confused. We are now at Sandra's lovely area. Sandra's lovely area is actually linked with Luca's lovely area and my lovely area. Sandra's lovely area has a giant building. She actually built up to this little rim idea over here in this huge circle, and then was like, hey, how do I build a roof for this? So I built a roof for it. And then I just tore it down because it was bad. And she built this roof for it, and it's glorious. Crystals and liveliness and lots of storage, and this little bed area is my favorite. There's a desk down here. There's some stairs up there. There's a bed up there. And there's some bookshelves up there, bookshelves all around here. It's a glorious place. Gun? There's a gun? Where's there's a gun? What? I'm confused. Here we have Luca's little bee and flower hut. It's adorable. There's a bee pollinating a flower. There's some crops over here that have grown really well. There's a little pond over here, some more bees all around here. They're a little bit short on beehives right now, but that's quite okay. Following these paths down in the other direction, we get to the spawner, which is closed off for a confusing reason. Spawner! The spawner is apparently broken, but it functions very well and it's very pretty, and I liked it before it was closed off. It worked very well, and I was very proud of Luca for creating such a lovely spawner. Maybe they're planning on upgrading it or something, but it's a great place. Now, we are going to go to the cow pen. The cow pen has a very slow spinning cow spawner, and it spawns cows in here. It's great for leather harvesting. It's great for working with and doing everything with. And hi, Luca. Hi. I have a flower now. This makes me very happy. As we pass by my boy, there's a new build with a new spawner, and it is looking very much like a creeper. I think that should be decorated like a creeper. I might make that a creeper soon. Now we enter Luca's house. Luca's house is one of the cutest ever. There's a dog tilting its head, there's some flowers outside, and lots of pink glass. There's a dragon egg over here, which anybody can punch, and an enchanting table, an armor stand, which I can disguise myself as if I try hard enough. I don't think it worked. I'm being fed beef. There's a main lap down there. There's a bed there. And if we head to the basement, we can see one of the smallest sorting systems that I've ever seen for a full base ever. And it's adorable. We are now, to finish things off, going to head on over this bridge that will be created in the future to this village, which I am currently working on, where we see some villages, some houses on the docks, a house that's in progress. We see a castle. This castle houses my storage system, where we have lots of bulk storage. We have the same storage modules that I used last season. We have a prank from Samael the Industrious that may explode at any given time, which is terrifying. We have my vault, which I can't open right now because there's TNT blocking it. And we have our miscellaneous storage. Around the back, if we go around the back, we can see all the redstone that's taken up. Illustrious? I say industrious. You can't change my mind. Samael the Illustrious? No. The illustrator? I say industrious. Now, to finish things off, we're gonna head on over. This means war. Well, I can't fight war with industry. Calling you industrious is a compliment. It means that you automatically win war. This is my little moss farm. It makes bone meal. It makes moss. It's not very good at making bone meal. That's okay. Now, we're gonna go. I can fall. to my teleport hub. This is the final stop on our destination of our very first tour of Season 10. My teleport hub is a floating island at like Y300 above the ground with tons of trees. It's not really meant to be viewed from the outside, it's mostly meant to be viewed from the inside, where we have this lovely textured floor, lots of different teleports. We have this river with so many fish, tropical fish, salmon, cod, and lots of coral and plants. We have visited the bone meal farms, we visited the villages and storages in the Meal Kingdom, and now we're gonna finish off right above my spawn house, where we have my aquarium. We have my infinity pool and aquarium and ceiling bit thing. We have a garden porch thing, which we don't need to see, that's okay. We have these lovely little ceiling lights, which I got from a Corrales tutorial 2 days ago. We have this rooftop where we have our barbecue, where we have a heroine flying around with a riptide trident. We have a tabletop, we have some lovely vines and a tree and some flowers, and then we have the garden. And now to finish things out, we are going to stand right on top of Town Hall, and I am going to say thank you for joining me on this very, very long stream. I streamed for 2.5 hours today, which is a crazy amount of time. I haven't streamed in like 3 months, and so this has taken a major toll on my voice, but that's okay, because the next time I have to talk is at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So I will be totally silent until then. But for now, thank you for joining me on this wonderful tour. Today we saw Season 9, we got ourselves introduced to Season 10, and we sorted through some issues with my new OBS profile. We realized that I needed to fix my music, we need to fix my entire computer, and yeah. But as a whole, it's been a great stream, and I very much thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming by, and we will see you in the next. Who started a raid? Who did that? Bye bye.